I know I'm probably just being so dramatic and annoying, but this is my first job, like my first 9 to 5 job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and it takes me fucking forever to get there. There's no way I'm gonna be able to afford living in the city right now, so that's off the table. Like, fucking duh! If I was able to walk to work, and it'd be fine, but I'm not. So it literally takes me, like, I leave here, like, I get on the train at 7:30, and I don't get home till, like, 6:15 earliest, and then, like, I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. Like, I don't have energy to work out. Like, that's out the window. Like, I'm so upset. Oh my god. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just, like, the 9 to 5 schedule in general is crazy. Being in the office 9 to 5, like, if it was remote, you get off at 5, and you're home, and everything's fine. But, like, I'm not home. It takes me long to get home, and, like, people that drive to the office, like, you don't get off at 5, and I know it could be worse, I know I could be working longer, but, like, I literally get off, it's pitch black, like, I don't have energy. How do you have friends? Like, how do you have time to, like, meet, like, a guy? I don't know, like, how do you have time for, like, dating? Like, I don't have time for anything, and I'm, like, so stressed out, and I'm also getting my period, so that's why I'm all emotional, but, like, am I so dramatic? It's fine.
Welcome to Feminist America, a dystopian world where everybody is forced to become a slave to the system. You don't get to follow your dreams, you don't get to follow your passions. You are stuck working your entire life away for a company that you don't care about and for a company that doesn't care about you. That's not how things always were. Look back a century or so ago. And, you had the men working within their community. They were supporting those around them. They were working for an employer that actually cared about them. They lived probably in the same town as the original location of the company they were even working for. You didn't have all these massive corporations spread across the country. You weren't working for a company that was set up an hour or so away. You weren't put into a position where you couldn't afford a home anywhere near your place of work to the point where you would be driving an hour to get there. No, you'd go to work, you'd do your time, you'd come home to a loving wife and loving kids. And that's how things were. That's how things should be. That's how they were for all of time. And then all of a sudden, a group of radical feminists came in and completely flipped this system upside down and started forcing women to work. They started forcing people to go into positions that were unnatural for them. That is exactly what we see as the root of the problem within the video we just watched. This woman should not be forced to work a 9 to 5, right? It's not normal for her, it's not natural for her. She'd be much happier if she was able to just take care of her home. Maybe she looks a little young. She probably does. She might not be at the age of like kids yet, but she gets to take care of the home, and then her man comes home with the money, and she feeds him dinner. They have a nice night together. She has time throughout the day to go do things with friends. She has time to have a life, a social life. Well, instead, that is stripped from her, and she is forced into desolation, isolation, and she is starting to feel completely broken. This is the cause of the mass social anxiety, the depression we all have. This is where it comes from. We are forced into a spot where we don't have time to socialize. We don't have time to do the things we love. We don't have time to follow our dreams. We don't have time to take care of the family. We don't have time to even meet anybody. That's one of the points she makes near the end of her rant. She doesn't have time to go and meet a nice guy. You know why she doesn't have time for that? Because she is forced to work for a boss that doesn't care for her. So, thank you, feminists, for that. Instead of this lovely woman being able to go out and meet a man, she has to go and work her life away for some man that does not give two craps about her, that will fire her on the spot. Because, that's what the mega corporations do. And judging by the fact that, she has to drive an hour to go to the city to go work this job, I have to imagine this isn't some mom and pop shop on the corner of some street. No, this is more than likely some mega corporation that, could not care less about her. But that's the situation she's been forced into. And guess what? You could argue, oh, even if she had a husband, they'd still have to both go into work because prices, it's too expensive to live off of one income. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you need two incomes to support a family? Maybe because after the feminist takeover of America, the employees within the country, they doubled. 100 years ago, there were 50% of the employees of the population were actually working, right? 50% of the population was going to work. You had the men going to work and the women staying at home. So they were paid that way. They were paid as if half the population was working because half the population was working. Now, men and women are splitting the income. Men are making less compared to the overall population and compared to the price of everything, and that goes for women as well. So instead of a man making enough for the man and the man is making enough just for him because the company can just also hire his wife at this point. That wasn't an option. That was not a thing that used to happen. The reason why you need two incomes is because there is double the working population. You could live off of a single income, but the feminists had to take over and say, we want to work, we want to be treated as men. And now we're seeing the result. Women don't want to be treated like men. That sucks for them. The patriarchy was a great thing. The patriarchy was benefiting literally everyone. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The patriarchy, no matter what people tell you, no matter what propaganda you've heard, was a system created by men for the benefit of women and children. Who didn't have to work in the patriarchy? Women and children. Who was taken care of in the patriarchy? Women and children. Who was put first in the patriarchy? Women and children. Who was going to war? Men. Who got to stay home? The women and the children. Men want to take care of their wives. They want to take care of their sisters. They want to take care of their mothers. They want to take care of their daughters. They want to take care of their sons too, the children. Men want to provide and take care of these people. And life is best for the women and the children when they are provided for and they aren't forced to go work for some guy that doesn't care about them. But that's what feminist system has set up for them. They set up a system where they are having to take care of themselves and honestly also having to take care of a lot of men too. It's a really unfortunate reality, and men have just kind of sat back and accepted it, and now men have been kind of kicked out of that providing role, and it's their fault too. I mean, talk to 75% of guys. I mean, just go to a store for one. You'll see everybody, they're out of shape. They're either like really skinny, nerdy looking, or they're like super obese. There's not much of an in between. Most of the people I'm around at this point, I mean, they're in decent shape because, you tend to turn out like the people you hang around. So I try to hang around people that I respect, people that I actually good guys. And I'm sure that is true for a lot of you here. So maybe you don't see it as much. But if you start to notice the people outside of your social group, you'll see what is going on with America. Like, I'm always shocked to find out that, oh, the majority of the population is Democrat. Even I live in a very, very liberal area, but it feels like everybody around me is a conservative. Everybody around me is a conservative because all of my friends are conservatives. But that obviously isn't reality. Reality gets kind of shaped by those who we are seeing. But you'll see, most people, they're out of shape. They they are wasting their lives away. And this is why men can't provide anymore. They're too focused on the new Marvel movie. They're too focused on Lego sets to be able to take care of a woman, to be able to take back their country, make America great again. They aren't doing that. No, no, they're wasting their lives away on seriously superheroes. Ooh, CGI superhero takes down CGI villain. Oh, so exciting. They sound gay. They sound really gay. But that's the world we live in. It's unfortunate, but that's feminist America for you. It makes everybody more depressed because no women don't want to take care of men. Why do you think divorce rates are so high nowadays? Because women don't want to take care of their loser husbands. And why do you think a lot of guys aren't getting married? Because guys don't want to get married to whore wives. So, we have this back and forth going on where, the sex is more divided than ever. Like, they don't like each other, which is really unfortunate. I mean, that's why you need to get into better social groups. Like, all the girls I'm friends with at this point, they're all like really great people. That's how you avoid. Don't go down like an incel route. That's how you avoid that. Getting around like get into a good social group, because then you'll see there are a lot of really good people left. We're not alone in this. We still have like 45% of the population is conservative-ish. Probably, I mean, depending on your area. I mean, I'm sure every area has at least like 25 to 30% are extremely conservative. Maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, but especially guys. I mean, I don't know how many of you are part of Gen Z, but if you don't know, Gen Z boys, Gen Z, like these young men, most conservative people you will ever talk to. Like, worryingly conservative, incredibly radical. I mean, a lot of people think I am somewhat radical, and I have been radicalized by my social group because, these guys will say the most out of pocket things. And if you are in high school or early 20s, I'm sure you know this as well. Gen Z men, very, very conservative group. Like, not just conservative, radically conservative. And the women, most of them are liberal, but there are a few out there that are pretty conservative. So we're not alone in this. We can take back our country, but stop getting distracted. Stop making fun of women like these. A lot of guys like to be like, "Oh, look at this chick. She's crying. Oh, this is your fault." No, it's not. It's not her fault with her grandmother. Not even her grandmother. I don't know her family. What a bunch of women 100 years ago decided to do, and what a bunch of men decided to back. It's not her fault that her country is falling apart, that the men are weak, and that the women are um slutty. It's not her fault at all. That's not on her. So as a man, instead of making fun of her, be like, I see exactly where you're coming from, and you're right. You should not be forced into this situation. You should not have to be working a 9 to 5 because that sucks. You should get to go socialize. You should get to go meet people. And as a man, take responsibility, go out and save your country so that women like these get to live happy lives and so that you get to feel fulfilled. Because you will never feel fulfilled working a 9 to 5 with no purpose and doing that for your entire life and forcing women to do the same because quality or whatever. No, equality is gay. Stop saying that. Get away from that. Get away from equality. Hang around better people. Start taking care of yourself. Start taking care of your life, and good things will follow. And that's my message. Let's take back America, boys. We can do it together. We have, like I said, Gen Z men, we are coming. We're going to save this country. We're the make or break at this point. I don't know if there's going to be another generation that is as radically conservative as us because we are like in between that age of online propaganda. Like, the generation that came after us, they're completely screwed. And they're growing up on propaganda machines. We still got to be outside for our childhoods, and now we're having this propaganda forced on us, and we hate it. So guess what? We can save this country. Make or break. It's time to fight back. It's time to push now. Don't be weak. And yeah, let's do this thing. We can do it with God on our side. But I'm gonna wrap up the video on that night. No, join the Discord server. Links in the description. Great people there. Very interesting conversations. You can talk to me there. Very epic. And you get notified for all videos. Epic. Twitter, go check it out if you want to see some insanely radical things, posting that there. I'm trying to create a new conservative wave over there too. So keep your eye out for that. I have insane plans. It's going to be very epic. So get on the ride while, there's still room. Get into the van because come on, space is filling up quick. And you don't want to miss out, do you? No, no, because you're not a loser. You're cool. And all the cool kids are jumping on the MK Ultra train. I'm telling you, it's a wave, it's a movement. Amazing things are happening for us. High energy, high energy. We got the new background. I'm sure I've shown it to a lot of you, but yeah, it's very cool. So we're saving the country one video at a time. But so long, peace out, and God bless y'all.